Officially, by that clock, 6 p.m., October 3rd, 2016. I'd like to welcome everyone here, the board members, the public, Shannon, Doris, and PCTV. There aren't too many members from the public.
Yes.
It isn't Tuesday, though, as it was posted.
It was.
Yeah, you have it posted Tuesday, October 3rd, but
Well, it's still up.
that's okay.
What you don't know is that I had to come all the way back in here on Saturday because it still said September 19th.
Oh, very nice. The first order of business, does anybody have anything to add to the agenda? Hearing none,
Oops.
I'm assuming there is none.
No, I think what I would like to add, I think can be discussed during the attorney's recommendation.
Yeah. So the first order of business would be the minutes of September 19th. Do I have a motion one way or the other?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the minutes of September 19th as written. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstaining? The ayes have it. Next order of business is road foreman's road commissioner's report. As far as the roads go, they're in good shape. The crew's been out cleaning culverts, and we'll be doing that for most of the week in case we do get this hurricane coming up the coast. Jay, Nick, and John have been cutting Brush River Road. They're almost done with that road. Then they'll pick another road to do. And we're going to be stockpiling some crushed gravel at the garage fairly soon, like we usually do in the fall. As far as the equipment goes, the grader just had a full, complete service of oil change, filters, fuel filters, hydraulic filters. And then it had an issue with the hydraulic sensor, so Nortrac came down and replaced a sensor on it. Otherwise, the equipment, knock on wood, is running okay at this time. Kenny Pond trees, Kevin Schrader came down and we cut the trees at Kenny Pond with the retaining wall. We'll now have to backfill the retaining wall at some point. Depends on how long till the cold weather sets in. If we can get the wall backfilled this fall, we will. If we can't, we'll have to wait till spring. Crack sealing, normally we try to do pavement crack sealing like every 5 years. I think it's too late to get the bid out this year, so I would recommend that we take some of the paving money that we will have left over for this fall into next spring and do some crack sealing. It keeps the water out of the cracks in the blacktop and keeps it from heaving up in the winter, so next year I would recommend we get that done. As far as Jones Hill project goes, I've asked 3 contractors to look at the job. We've only heard back from one so far, but I'll be looking at prices here in the next couple of days, let the board know who will be doing that job. The security cameras that Shannon got a grant for are installed and working well. The one outside is working very well, actually, for the roll-offs out there, containers. So I guess that's all I have for now.
Just have one thing to add. Harvey Trayson at the very far end of Griswold Hill said that he would like somebody to come up and take a look at his road.
We can do that. I'll try to get that done tomorrow. So.
Okay.
I would also like to add how happy it is to go on the Grimes Hill Road, Depot Road, Dover Road, and South Portsboro Road, and see the beautiful fog line white striping. Thank you very much.
Not a problem. Radley Hill has it too, going into Brookline.
Okay.
I want to thank the board also.
Okay,
So when I come home for bowling at 9 o'clock at night, it's like sometimes.
do you want me to put those guidelines up to your house? Or?
Yes, please.
It really helps, doesn't it?
Along with
At
the
night,
key
yes,
especially
yes.
at night.
They said
for
that
foggy days.
they can do it annually for us. They do Dummerston, Vernon, and Swansea, New Hampshire. So
That would be good.
we should
Nice.
put a line item in our budgeting.
Line
Someone wants to make a note
Yeah.
for funding that. By then, we should have a bill from them as to how much it was going to cost. So
Already made a note.
we can include
Last
that
week.
next year's budget. So.
Yeah.
Yes, it came out good. That was a good thing. Finally get that done.
Motion to accept the road commissioner, or the road foreman's report.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the road foreman and road commissioner's report. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstaining? I'm going to abstain, obviously, but it's still 3-1. And I forgot to mention that Marion's not here tonight due to a other commitment, so. Unscheduled members of the public.
Could you please just line up? Try not to push.
New business, property mapping bids. Is that something for the listers? Is that,
The select board needs to open them. And after you open them, the listers would like to review them.
Gary, you want
Sure.
There's 3 of them like this.
to? So Gary's gonna open them and just give us a bottom line price on each one, and we'll give them to the listers to review for, get them back next meeting.
We might have to go back to unscheduled.
In the
Oh, there, okay. That's just the cover.
money comes out of the reappraisal.
Just try to keep them together.
Yeah,
Somewhere there should be a price
yeah.
and who it is.
Russell Graphics. I think is that-
This first one is from Russell Graphics, and they're giving us a quote of $19,500. This one's real sealed.
I have scissors if you need them.
Yeah. They're injured, they're at your desk. Okay.
They might be. Yeah.
Don't get hurt.
They don't usually have these.
That's why they don't want me to open bids. Do you want them back in the same envelope? It doesn't matter.
It is sealed bid. No question about that.
There wasn't a cover letter or something, you know what it was there? Does that have their figure on it?
You can see it.
That'd be too easy.
Yeah, I know. And the quote for this one is, without comparison, 13,600. There could be some of the line items here that are added on. ArcGIS online services, that sort of thing, may be added on to the number I just quoted. So you'll need to compare that when you focus on the bid itself.
That's why we want to look them over.
Yeah.
What was that
What's
company?
that company?
This is CAI Technologies.
These are big.
This is from Cartographic Services in Putnam. Cartographic Technologies, excuse me. There's a number in here somewhere. Ah. Quote, without comparison, 10,525, and there are a list of other items. And that's,
With figures for those items?
yes. Create a list of area reports, 225, add 140 unlanded mobile homes to partial data layer, 350.
So you have to add all those.
You have to add those up. Well, that's the reason they'll need to compare it, see
Yeah.
what dollars on us actually are.
All right, so we got 3 bids.
Yep,
You opened them and discussed all 3.
yep.
Somebody want to make a motion, we turn those over to the planning commission and then have them, or
Planning
listers,
Planning, don't you dare.
to the listers and have them bring it back to us by the next meeting, which would be what?
October the,
17th.
yes.
Is that enough time, Doris?
Sure.
Does anybody want to make that a motion?
So move. Second.
Motion's been made, seconded to turn over the mapping bids to the lister's office to have them review them and get back to us on the October 17th meeting. Any other discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstaining? The ayes have it.
Thank you.
Winter sand bids, now you get to open some more.
Oh, good. This personnel policy. Here you are. I'll be happy to do it up here, put those with you. If you want.
Okay, this is from Zaluzny Excavating Corporation, Vernon. $12.45 per cubic yard,
$12.45.
$12.45. That's 9/16 inch.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, so much water.
Oh, that's why I opened to it. That's what took so long.
So it's 12:45.
Okay, Fitzpatrick Excavating and Trucking in Wardsboro, Vermont.
Let the record show that
Mike has recused
Mike
himself.
has recused himself.
$11 per yard. I'm assuming that it's the same size.
Yep.
Sosimo Industries in Brattleboro. Okay, $13.50 cubic yard delivered.
Can you repeat the amount?
I'm sorry? Can you repeat?
$13.50.
$13.50.
What's the board's pleasure? Normally we go look at it, but it's pretty much the same every year, so
Go look at the rock.
go look at the sand, just to see what the quality of the sand is, but it's the same
Yeah.
quality every year, so.
Yep. Move that the road foreman review the bids and the quality of the sand and make a decision to present back to the board.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to authorize the road foreman to check out the sand from each company and get back to the board with a recommendation. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstaining? The ayes have it.
There's only two of us.
No.
There's only really two of us.
But you,
Well, there's three of us.
yeah.
You did, you,
Yeah,
okay.
just because you have to. There's only three of us. Don't give those to Shannon. I'll put those in here. She's out. All right, Mike can come back anytime he wants now. We'll go on to
If he wants.
tax sales representative. Shannon, you want to fill him in, how that works?
If no one bids on a property, the town normally has a bidder of last resort, which is the town. So, we have to decide who goes. Sometimes they appoint me, sometimes they appoint a board member.
Who attended the tax sale,
Last year,
the last one?
I don't remember who,
We just had one. recently.
last year.
No, recently.
No, we don't have a tax sale this year.
Oh, no.
When they have this one?
So,
October 5th,
Wednesday,
Wednesday,
Yep.
1 o'clock.
is it 1 o'clock?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like
but
the,
it's in town.
Probably what I was thinking.
how many total?
There were three properties?
She thinks there's gonna be 3.
I'm fine with having Shannon do it. It's up to you, board members.
Fine with me.
Yeah.
That's
Mike,
good.
did you say you wanted to go?
Huh?
Did you say you wanted to go?
No,
Oh, I thought I heard you say you wanted to do it. Okay, I'll go. It's fine. You just need to make a motion to
You want to make that motion?
Yeah.
authorize.
So moved.
Second?
Motion's been made, seconded to have Shannon go to the tax sale, property tax sale on October 5th
Yeah.
to represent the board. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstaining? The ayes have it.
was that held right here?
Yeah.
Now, is this an unscheduled member of the public? Are you an unscheduled member of the public?
No, the schedule.
Just wanted to make sure we weren't holding you up.
No.
Bond vote issues. Shannon, I guess you should walk us through most of this.
Issues. Okay, the first one is the hearing date.
Yeah.
So I made you another calendar, and I blocked out what your window for a public hearing is. The issue with having it along with a select board meeting is that the only one you have is the 7th, which is the day before the vote. It's still legal, but probably not the greatest
But if we
idea.
don't do it that time, we're talking Saturday or Sunday?
No, you have the whole week before.
No, because I see you just have window for public meeting
Yeah, keep flip over.
Saturday and then, oh, I
It
see.
continues on through the next week.
So we have a little while. What's the board, what do you guys want to do?
Well,
I
there
don't
is,
know.
go ahead. No.
I almost wonder if it wouldn't pay to have it on like that 29th. Would it pay to have it on Saturday, the meeting? Everybody's always complaining they can't make it to it.
That would be fine with me.
So
Yeah,
far, we had about 20,
Actually, that's a good idea, because perhaps there will be more citizens able to attend.
Yeah,
because that one meeting we only had 20-something, the other one had 30-something, so
right.
maybe like on the 29th or something like that, might be able to get more
Yeah,
people.
it's either that or the 5th,
I can use the 5th.
but then I think I like the 29th because, it's,
Our meeting's on this, what you said was the 7th, Shannon?
Yep, the select board meeting's on the 7th.
Then the vote is on the 8th anyway, so.
Mhm.
is there anything happening on the 29th that, would conflict with the meeting?
Depending on where you want to have it. I mean, there's nothing here that's going on. But,
So this is it, no matter what, it's going to be here?
No, it can be anywhere.
Oh,
Well, it can be anywhere in the town.
If you're gonna do the Winslow Hall, it's not heated. There's no point turning the heat on just for Saturday.
well, that would be definitely a damper.
Could use a firehouse, but you need to get a hold of Bobby Litchfield
Right. But is there bingo?
or Kendrick Brooks. Well, if you did it before like 3 o'clock, it'd be fine,
Yeah.
as long as everything's picked up for bingo.
Bingo people begin to arrive
somewhere around 4:30, 5 o'clock, somewhere
Yeah.
in there.
Okay, so if you scheduled like an hour. Okay,
Either get a hold of Bobby or Kendra Brooks.
okay.
I
I
like
mean,
that
either the
too.
29th or the 5th, but I mean, probably the 29th, that'd give it an extra week if I'm
That's
all
right.
true about it.
I think so.
I don't know what's on the calendar, so you can ask him
I'll
about
just
both.
call, yeah, see,
He
that's
was
the
gone, I
problem,
don't know if he's back yet, but
is I have to have the warning approved tonight
Well, I do
in order
remember
to post
that,
it on time.
I do remember one of the criticisms about the last time around was that
If I can call him.
we
Right.
had, yeah, we waited kind of toward the end and before we
Kendra might
had.
be around too, but I don't know.
And I also like the idea of having it in midday in the afternoon, so that people who don't want to be out when it's really dark or cold or
Yep.
whatever, they can also attend.
It is Halloween weekend, that's the only other thing that's
Well,
coming
we
up.
could,
Wear costumes.
we could
Yeah.
actually
I
have
don't
a
have to.
dash, a Halloween dash to the firehouse to hear, to have a hearing
I
with
think
the
Bobby's
select board.
4061, but not positive.
4061?
I think so.
We wear our costume, have a costume, prize.
I don't know what Kendra is, but it might need a phone book.
Okay, I'm gonna go check.
Nobody's laughing.
This is serious
It's-
business.
I'm
It is.
sorry, please forgive me.
We mentioned costumes, people will come in costumes.
I think that sounds great.
Yeah, it's fine. Do we have proposed language for the warrant? Didn't see anything.
I don't think so.
I don't think so, yeah. I think Shannon has that. So we can't do once till she's back anyways.
Now, is this a little project to me that building committee ought to be looking into?
I'm sorry?
Is this something the building committee ought to be looking at to try to put some information out there, good or bad, about everything?
Well, the building committee meets
The
for its
town
first meeting
office.
tomorrow.
But I'm not sure that the building, that's the
Town
building.
office committee.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's the building committee's function.
I believe we stated last time it was to, forget the exact language, but
Yeah.
it was encompassing new, old, stay the same, or remodel. They,
Right.
you
But
could do any of
but
those.
going forward and
Yeah,
not necessarily involved in this particular
No.
election.
mm-hmm.
This is sort of old business
Could you get Kendra?
Yeah.
revived with one more.
Thomas, Kendra Brooks.
What are you saying?
I'm talking to Shannon. Trying to get the right person to schedule the firehouse.
We need to have that approved tonight.
Yes.
Because it has to be 30 days in posted,
Okay.
so if I don't have it done tonight, I'm not gonna make it.
Okay.
I was talking to, well, I didn't do this, but before I forget it, I was talking to Kenny Robinson today. He said he'd like to put a proposal in on that dump thing too for a solar stuff.
Should tell him to go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I told him,
He
he
did
said,
come in and get some
right,
information.
he thought that our meeting was Thursday for some reason, so he was gonna try to get it all together for this week. So we'll have it for the next meeting.
Find her either.
So this,
Good.
this public meeting will be, will it also involve, the same people that we had last public meetings?
It's just a public hearing.
So public hearing on the vote that you've got
I'm gonna go
for
through
the new
one
town
more time.
office.
Actually, leave him a message, because if he's
Okay.
home, maybe he'll call you back.
Oh, that's true.
Go ahead.
Yes,
Mel Martin, I just have a quick question. I couldn't quite understand the exchange about something about the building committee was supposed to do something or could do something, but that was prior. I was having a hard time following that.
you want to explain, Gary?
Yes.
We made a motion last time as to what the function and the direction of the building committee will be. And it is a moving forward, do you have exact wording?
It should be in the.
Basically, you're
Okay.
charged with,
Minutes.
you're charged with looking into the new building,
Mhm.
renovating this building, or doing nothing. And I think that's what Mike's referring to, is to try to, maybe you can have something at that meeting to hand out about, which of course doesn't give you much time, about a new building, or renovating this building, or if we do nothing, where does that get us?
And I think that's where I was not quite sure. I heard that that wasn't the purview of the building committee, or the purview of someone else to put those numbers together?
The numbers would actually, I would think, would almost have to go out to bid.
Right. Well, new numbers.
Right.
Well, what I'm looking at, thinking more is like last time, it's pretty much us and Dave Cotton, right?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the information is there.
Right, so I'm just thinking if
We're
they
not
had,
inventing any new information, we may be clarifying some information.
Right.
I think that's the thing, a lot of people were confused and didn't quite
well, like I said,
understand.
maybe like, hey, to get a little more people involved and they could word it,
I don't see
you know,
it.
just however they want, you know, show it to them, so that,
Yeah,
you know, the
we're
good this
having-
side, that side, and what it
Page
is.
three,
you know.
halfway down.
The town office committee is meeting tomorrow at 5
Okay.
o'clock.
Um,
Mel?
go
Yeah,
ahead.
you're on it, you can bring it up, Ron.
Mel's on it too.
Yeah,
Mel,
Mel's
the,
on it too.
The mission that was
And those
voted
two
on
guys
at the
are-
last meeting was, the mission is to develop a plan for updating and maintenance of the town hall.
And that's it.
We kept it
Town
broad.
office.
Maybe we kept it broad to
To-
encompass anything.
Three
Yeah,
options, basically. So we
Let me ask
can't,
you one follow-up question. Is there anything within the confines of what the building committee is expected to do that would prevent the building committee from putting together those, a document to present for that night, or is that something that goes back to the office?
Well, that's what I said, I almost think that's what we need. It's something a little more clear, you know, I mean,
Right.
of what it is. I mean, like I said, we got these two options right now, like this thing over here and this one on this side of us, you know. Eventually they're gonna go away and then there is no more options and then it's this, you know. And I just think it might be better to have, you know, the good and bad of the whole thing, all on a piece of paper where people can see it, you know.
Well, basically, that's why one of the reasons I agreed or offered, if you will, to be on the building committee wasn't so much because of any kind of building expertise, but to come to the conclusion that, first of all, what are the facts? And how clearly can we define the facts and explain them in a way that is clear? Because I don't think it was clear last time. And it was whatever, but that was then. But going forward, whatever those numbers are, A versus B, what we call it, if they can be clarified and defined so that everybody can understand it, then I think that's the biggest challenge that I see, because getting 120 votes for the petition or whatever, or signatures for the petition is easy. Putting together something that's meaningful to change people's minds isn't. That's difficult. And those people have to show up for the meeting. If they don't show up for the meeting, you can't offer them anything to change their minds with.
Yeah.
So,
Which is, go ahead.
yeah, no, so that's all. It's just, that's the bigger part. It's not getting the vote.
To clarify the information.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Then you
yeah,
have
I think
less
it'd
than
be
one.
good to have something.
I think it's
Not to underscore.
I mean, you're gonna have a lot of votes no matter what, just because it's election, you know?
Well,
You
that's
got
it.
the people that come in just like they did last time too, you know, I mean, some just vote, I mean, people just vote, yes or no, you know?
Well, then
They
again,
say
you've got,
no, you know?
and if you've got all the new people who come in for the election general, who see this but know nothing about it, they could sway whatever was there before,
Right.
just by saying yes or just by saying no. So that's a complete unknown.
It's interesting that the $35,000 vote
Yes,
on that whole thing
It
was
passed.
more, people were more in favor of that. The vote, I don't think it was, I forget what the spread was, it wasn't too much, but people voted in favor of that and not in favor of the new building. But they voted to take 35,000 and put it toward the new building, so it's like,
I mean, the way it all come back, they had to vote on the same article.
yeah.
I mean, I'd rather seen it that we'd had the time to put it out with a blueprint and out the bid, and people really knew what you're bidding on, you know, and show them, but it doesn't, so we're voting on the same article, but
I
instead of
think,
just putting it back out to vote, they might as well have a little information.
I think we can clarify, the committee can clarify it a little better. From things that I've heard from different people saying, well, I didn't understand that and I didn't understand this, so. Yeah,
you know, my concern all along has been on the revote, that there were more people who voted for the 35,000 to be used on a new building, but yet the building itself got voted down.
right.
And the using it on a new building got passed. So it tells me that there's confusion, and we need to do what we can to address that before the next vote, regardless of which way it goes. The
Right.
questions have to be answered.
All right, Shannon, so what do we, if he doesn't get back to you tonight, can you do it tomorrow morning, or?
You'd have to have a special meeting to approve the warrant.
Did you get a hold of, did you find Tommy's number?
I can't find a number for them.
It's either 4415 or 4451, I don't remember which thing.
Try them both.
See what you try both.
One of them's Dennis Wiswall, I'm like,
Say hi, Dennis, how you
Hey.
doing?
Whoopsie.
You're working tomorrow, right, Dennis?
yeah.
Just make sure you're all right. I used to.
I just think it's gonna be really difficult to get out proper numbers without bids. I mean, I don't know how we're gonna do that.
You don't think so?
Not the information.
I think it's going to be difficult to come out with numbers, accurate, fairly accurate numbers, without bids.
What's that for?
Isn't there
So-
something in the same number?
Well, they can't be any more accurate than what we already have.
That's right.
Well, the numbers that we have are for the remodel, and some of those numbers go back to 2010, 2011.
That's the problem.
That's the
That-
problem.
But we're not doing that for this election.
Right, this is to
You're
discuss
voting on
the
the,
cost of the new building.
yeah, that's right.
And maybe we could get David to break them down into something. But
Well,
it's
I
very
would like to
difficult
see
for
3
him.
contractors, just,
Well, you can't, you don't have time for that.
No.
They would have to have plans, we'd have to
That-
approve a building
And if you,
footprint.
and if you want plans, you're gonna be paying another $15,000 for
Yeah.
plans,
Yeah.
so.
Yep.
Then, I think one of the challenges I see is to define the premise. It wasn't stipulated very clearly at the last meeting, is that a new building will cost the taxpayers less money in the long run and be a greater efficient use of our tax dollars than renovation. That's what it boils down to. Is it gonna cost more next year? Maybe not. But in the long run, will that be the case? Because I don't wanna waste my tax dollars.
If you're there for some
I don't,
reason.
not at all.
Back within the next hour, give me
I'm
a
willing to
call.
spend more
802-380-0511.
If you go in the short term to make it last,
Yeah,
to come true in the long.
that's what I tried
Bond
to
will be,
say in one
you know, that
meeting.
tonight if you can, so.
It might have been the
Yeah, we're back,
last
thanks.
meeting when we had a group of people, or maybe it was the meeting
4415.
before, about how really it's a money saver in the long run
And
for the
that-
taxpayers to get this bond and to have a new building.
See, that concept is simple. We all understand it. We know someone, a family member, or even ourselves who've had something to renovate. And you get through the numbers and you go, my God, that's crazy. And you find out it's cheaper to build.
It is,
So if this is that situation, then we need to prove it.
Yes.
that's it.
So it isn't enough to say conceptually it makes sense, but with the numbers we've got, do we have enough information to prove it, if you will, to the voters who are going to vote
Yep.
And if you can't prove it, then that's gonna be it's part of the difficulty.
So
Of a
therein
short-
lies our task.
Yeah, it's a catch-22.
Well, let's just say, that's why I was saying, well, in an early conversation, I'd rather not have the vote on the new building, but vote down the renovation and have nothing and start from scratch, as to bring it back up again and do this again.
But
No, but it's not gonna
the
happen.
petition was to, with 148
Yes,
signatures,
that's to revote the new
was to
building.
revote
No,
the new
that was
building.
just in my mind.
We're kind of stuck
So
on,
after,
stuck there.
we'll see what happens with that.
It's the bond process that is the confusing thing, because you have to ask for enough money to make sure you cover all eventualities. Whereas if you actually then had a plan, you could take it out to a group of contractors to bid, you could come back with a much sharper number. But the bond process, unless we are willing to spend money off of our general fund for plans, we can't do until we get approval from the voters. So maybe we ask for less, but then if we run into a contingency that needs to be met, we may not have the funds to do it, and we can't go back to the voters. So,
In the end, problem is you've got a month to put this together.
It's okay. I never worry about
and
it.
we could, I mean, we could
Can't worry about it.
we could pick a square footage number, which one of the people who responded recently had done. We could just say, okay, it must be within this square foot range. And so we pick that number, then we take it by the number of square foot we think we're gonna need for a building, and that's what we go and ask for.
But you've got to understand that you go by a square foot building, you also, most buildings don't include a vault.
Right.
Or an
So you
elevator.
can't just go
Or an
by.
elevator.
Well, there are ways to
Well,
include
who's
those.
talking about an elevator for
Oh,
the
for the
new
new
town
building, no,
office?
that was the renovation.
Yeah,
So we would need to know, and that probably is not a number that's that difficult to get, as an add-on. Building cost is this much per square foot. Okay, addition to the vault adds this much to that number. And that would be the size of the vault that we would need. And then the addition of an ADA compatible features for the building that gives you this number. And all of those go together to tell us what we need to be asking for in the bond vote. So it may be a number smaller than 900,000.
right.
But, the architects aren't willing to go out on that limb until they've got plans and specs and things in front of them.
Right.
And I can understand that, but that's the hard part, is we can't do that until we have the confidence of the voters.
So you're waiting on to see if you can use the firehouse that day, right? If we can't use that, what about the school down there?
No way to get a hold of them tonight either.
No, but I mean, that should be available, I would think.
Right, but I have to have the time and place approved tonight. Unless you guys want to have a special meeting.
You don't know about the Union Hall either then, probably.
That's Bob too.
Do we want to
Well,
hop
just-
down?
I mean, you've got till tomorrow, if you get it tomorrow, it's all be approved tonight, right?
Well, while we're waiting,
The
we'll
plan
hop
on
down
the
to
school,
some more items on
firehouse.
the agenda.
Yeah, why don't we go forward and we'll keep this on hold and then we'll.
We can't go much farther because you have to approve the warning. And that has to be on the warning.
No, I just meant on the agenda.
And then there's discussion of attorney's recommendations. We can do that.
You could do that and then jump back.
Correspondence.
So you want to walk us through we all have the personnel policy sitting here in front of us, right?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Yes, and behind it is the policy for elected officials. So if you look at, on the personnel policy, in the spots that I've marked out, you'll see that, although it's basic, it already has a spot in there about using town equipment for personal use. And it also very briefly talks about politics in the town office.
On page 10, if anybody's looking for it.
Shall we give a little background about this, or?
beat it to death, but
I don't know, we need to, because,
Last meeting, we agreed to incorporate some of the attorney's suggestions in making sure that all employees that work in this building or for the town, including elected officials, are held by this
The personnel
particular
policy.
personnel policy. Because on the, this in section B in the general obligations, it says employees shall not use town property or equipment for their private use or for any use other than that which serves the public interest.
so it's already in there.
It's in here, but it says employees.
right, but what I was trying to,
It's bound in.
It's also kind of a
Is that-
different catch to the whole thing.
Shanna's
anyways.
gonna explain it to you if you guys wanna listen.
Yes.
the, on the next document,
Yeah.
on page 2 that Gary has, it shows which parts of the personnel policy that elected officials
So it's
are
covered.
bound to, and that is, both of those are included.
So we really don't have to change it much.
I mean, you can make it a little more detailed if you wanted, but it's.
Oh, you know what I'd almost do?
The only problem with making something detailed is then you fall into a trap where
Exactly.
it's too detailed and this doesn't cover, that's not covered,
The
so.
more detailed you are, the more you're
Right.
open to interpretation.
Does it give any information about when
That's
this,
the thing, is you get somebody to read this thing 2 or 3 different ways.
This
The
general
last 2
obligation.
words kind of almost throws it the other way.
I know, I thought the same thing.
The
when I
public
read it.
interest.
Public interest, yeah.
I read
Other
that
than
and
public interest.
thought the same exact thing.
So I mean, you know, it means, all it is a and, but, with, or whatever, you know, but the public, you can't use the town equipment for any private use or any other use other than that serves public interest.
Right,
And
and if the person believes.
if somebody
that
really
they're
wanted to
serving-
argue it or whatever else,
it could be in front
they
of
could
a,
say that was public interest.
Right,
And that's what I say, there's a lot of, just one word changes a whole lot, and them 2 words at the end of that one paragraph makes that whole thing
that's right.
out the wall.
So we may actually want to tweak this a bit. I just.
Because I mean, we went through this for the first 2 years when I was on Selectmen.
yeah.
Why can't we just
The
kind of?
one word was change the whole thing, remember?
Yeah.
We argued all night about it, some nights.
Why can't we just have it, be very black and white and say employees shall not use town property or equipment for their private use,
I think that works fine.
period?
Yeah, do away with the last part,
Yeah, me
that
too.
last clause, because
That's settled that
That
problem.
includes all the departments, correct?
I'm sorry?
That includes all the departments.
That includes all the departments.
So,
Highway department, everybody, yeah.
I would assume.
What do
Why
you
wouldn't
think,
it?
what do you think about that? You're in agreement with that?
I know, good think about it.
well, if you take private use, and you add to that public interest, well, private use and public interest automatically count and block each other out.
That's it.
Because if you're using it for private use, you're not using it for the public interest. You're using it for your own personal use.
Right.
So I think doing away with the last part of
I'm
that
in
clause,
agreement
that
with
last
you.
sentence would be fine. It's without affecting the total meaning of the sentence.
Absolutely, and I think that's our meaning.
What do you think?
What do I think?
So what you wanna do is stop it at private use,
Yeah.
Yep,
that's fine.
So read it carefully and see if it doesn't say the same thing. If you do away with the last part of the sentence.
I could say that I'm
Or you
sorry,
could also add, you know, with a select board, or with a select board approval.
yeah, that's not bad.
On the very end of that,
Yep.
right?
I think I'd rather see that than with the public interest, because I mean, that just changes the whole
That's
nine
right.
yards, no
I'm-
matter what.
Absolutely, I'm in agreement with you.
So can we add that to it, Shannon?
Yes, what you need to do is make a motion to amend the personnel policies. And then next meeting, I'll have one for you to sign, the new one.
I make a motion to amend the personnel policy B, general obligations,
On page 10.
on page 10. To employees shall not use town property or equipment for their private use without prior approval by the select board.
Second that motion.
So the motion's been made, seconded. You want to read it again?
Employees shall not use town property or equipment for their private use without prior approval by the select board.
Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstaining? Okay, what about section D, political activity? Everybody else good with that? It's just below that.
This only speaks to
Yeah,
candidates for
Right.
public office.
right.
Um,
We were advised to basically not, to
Or any town
not allow
petitions.
petitions for town offices to be anywhere near the town office. Let me see if I can have it. Might even have
I mean,
it.
if it was the polling place, that would make a lot of sense, but that just doesn't make sense.
I think it's because of what happened,
Well, and I get that.
and we got to somehow
Here it is
work
right
that into
here.
it.
Stop it, yeah.
But you
Oh,
might
wait.
have a petition from the social service. It might
Right,
be in
that's-
here.
That's what the bummer is.
That's why I think it's in any town
This,
office petition or something like that.
yeah, this is an official process rather than being a community process. Whereas, if you had a public, a petition here for better water, and it wasn't the public's not gonna vote on that, then that's okay.
Right, but the social services, they do vote on it.
Social services,
Yes,
they vote,
and
they
that's
vote on
what's-
it in the budget.
Right, and so we've had people leave them here before, and that would stop that.
Well, this is what we were told, that the select board needs to proceed to warn and hold the reconsideration vote.
Mhm.
However, I would urge the select board to adopt a clear town policy or regulation prohibiting the placement or presence of petitions involving town votes and all other types of political signs and literature on the town property.
So town votes would cover it, right?
And just adding that to
Then you
the
could, then
sentence.
anybody have to still put a petition in, like social services could
No,
still,
because it's still a town vote, town votes on those.
town meeting.
Says involves town votes.
Why don't we table that until we can come up with something
It's
different?
just kind of a bummer.
Can you look into, or ask VLCT what, if they have anything for that?
Yeah.
Actually, I think that's when I did call the Secretary of State's office, remember I talked to
Yeah, you did.
Jenny? And she says it's a very gray area.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be pretty much a standard office, a standard
Yeah.
response when you call them. That's great, that's very great.
That's great.
Maybe it's something to the effect that no town employee during working hours at the town office shall ask people to sign a petition
In the town office.
in the town office.
For
Would that cover it?
147 feet.
So when you bring in your petitions to run for the select board, you can't pass it around the table like you have in the past.
That's
Right.
right. I'll have to call you and say, would you please meet me 147 feet outside of the parameter?
175.
Is it, oh, sorry,
Yeah.
that's
That's
175.
from the polling place though, and this
Yeah.
is not.
And that brings back the question, do you set up different rules for a town building than you do
Right,
for a
the
polling
polling
place?
place. Some town buildings are the polling place, but,
In most municipalities, they set the differences as the same thing, because it's too
Well,
hard to manage separate districts.
The way I read that off though, you could still put them in here, anybody's petition in here, but I can't go up to you and say, gee, you wanna sign my petition?
The petition is right here.
You could just lay it on the table and say if anybody whatever, there's a petition
I
sitting
don't
there.
know. We had, there was a clear perception that there was,
Some manipulation there.
yeah, you know, I mean, I have a conflict of interest. There was definitely a perception by many citizens that there was a conflict of interest.
And if you read the first part of that sentence, an employee shall not use his or her official authority for the purpose of interfering with or affecting, and then the rest. So that's exactly the situation we were
That's it.
faced with.
That's on
It's
page
just
10.
different language.
Yeah.
You could have a petition, but you can't influence the people.
Right, that's what I was
Correct.
trying to get the wording out.
Yeah.
So if we looked at then adding on to that sentence, or modifying that sentence to say, or affecting a town vote, nomination, or election of any candidate for a public office in the town. Okay, a town vote, an election of any candidate for public office, or nominations for public office in the town. Is that too specific or too general?
So that's kind of specific, but, I don't know if that covers it. Who would it exclude?
Well, we're looking at specific situations that involved a town vote. Nominations or elections of any candidate for public office. That's what it now reads.
So, as Dora said, if I'm running for select board, I cannot come in to the town office and ask someone to sign my petition.
And that's the rule that's in place today. That's not
It
changing
is?
anything.
But
yeah.
you're not an employee, so yes, you could. Why couldn't you?
This is a personnel policy that's in place
But
now.
I'm not an employee. and-
Right, if I'm running for select board, doesn't mean I'm an employee.
Okay, you were
It says
bound,
employee,
Is a select board
I think
member an
that's just
employee?
for full-time elected.
so
I don't make any money.
we could put an employee or elected official? Is that what we can do? No?
Well, because they're not really bound by,
But the way that the lawyer made it sound was you put that in there, then they are bound by it, whether they are elected official or not.
Mhm.
It's the way he wrote that down here.
right? I mean, and it doesn't have to be the personnel policy, you could
Just have
enact a separate policy.
It says prohibiting the placement or presence of petitions involving town votes and all other types of political signs and literature on town
I
property.
could see if he wants to help me draft
I
one.
was gonna say, why don't we let Shannon work on this one, and we'll look at it at the next meeting, so we get the wording right, and don't
I
get,
mean, do you want to maybe have a separate policy?
yeah, if it would work, that'd be fine.
could you simply add on page 1 of the elected employee benefits policy, just add into there elected officers or employees benefit policy.
Where are you?
Page 1 of the,
Actually, no, that was a big, huge, giant
Yeah.
Was
snafu
it?
when we drafted it, and that's why it doesn't say it.
okay.
Why don't we let Shannon get a hold of the attorney and work with them, so if we can't draw up a policy, maybe have it ready for the next meeting or sometime.
Yeah. All right, so maybe separate.
Now, the last one, what you haven't read, code of conduct.
Do we need to table this till a time certain?
Till next meeting.
So a motion to table discussion of the personnel policy until the October
17th.
17th meeting.
And what were you saying?
I didn't know if we were gonna go over this last one.
I think we should, we're here.
In red. You gotta vote on the motion
Is it
for it.
red?
Yeah.
Yeah, the last one in red. Or somebody does. That's why I was wondering what it was.
Can I look?
Certainly.
It's
It might be
the
red on
binder.
accident.
It's the binder that binds the rest of personnel policy.
Oh, no, that was just, it was just showing you that that means that those sections that you looked at in the
Are covered.
personnel policy, they are bound by
Yeah.
those.
So we don't need to do anything with that till you get your personnel, till you get that policy
Right.
done.
Yeah.
All right, so we did have a motion to table the
Yep.
town office,
Second.
or the town personnel
Policy.
policy for now, till Shannon gets time to get together with the lawyer, try to have it by next meeting. Any other discussion?
No, but we did actually have a vote on that one section.
Right.
Yeah.
But the rest of it we're gonna table.
Yep.
Right.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstaining? The ayes have it. More work for Shannon.
Job security.
Yeah. Now, investment and banking policy adoption. Do we have that here?
I can't see what.
3 meetings in.
Did you expect to break it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I have that.
I don't have it in front of me. So.
Yeah, it was pretty complicated, actually.
Well, it's a boilerplate policy from VLCT, as I remember. And it's sort of like apple pie. You put this in, there's no problem with it. And then as time goes on, you can amend it to be more specific as you finalize your own plans. At least that's what I read. This gives you a policy that you can put into place today, and then we can add to it as time goes on.
Oh.
What is the board's wishes? What would you like to do with it?
Well, it was pretty complicated. There were a couple of little tweaks I thought about. Of course, I must have left it at home, but I thought overall, my general impression was that it was sound advice, and it was, but, you know, I'm not an expert in that sort of thing. Anybody else have a view on it?
It didn't commit us to anything. It just said that we will have a policy which involves funds broken out in the following ways. It didn't really say that you have to have any percent, you don't have to commit to anything.
Is this what the auditors wanted us to do?
Well, the thing that I like about it, it is a policy. And it was, I mean, I didn't understand all of it. It's pretty, you know, I'm not really into investments and those sorts of things. But the nice thing about it, about approving it, is that it's a policy. And if we don't like it, we can change it as we go. At least we have something.
Did the auditors have a chance to look at it, or
They recommend that one, so.
so we should probably just adopt it and work off of it, and if we have a problem with it, amend it.
Did you come up with anything that you thought was a red flag?
I didn't see anything in it that was a red flag. And it's not saying you will put this much money into this investment.
So
or
this is
anything like
how you go about it.
Exactly,
It's kind of a guideline.
yeah. So while we then run into situations where we need to make a decision, then we can modify it as we go.
I've got it.
Okay.
You got any problem with it?
I didn't really look it all over anyways, but no. I've looked at so goddamn much paperwork in the last 2 weeks.
Somebody want to make a motion one way or the other?
I'll motion to accept it.
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and seconded to adopt the investment and banking policy that was written. Shane, I believe you wrote that up, or you? Is that what it came from?
Newfaneized it.
What's that?
I'm sorry?
I Newfaneized it.
Good, good.
Newfane
The one that
eyes.
Shannon Newfane eyes.
Would you say that again 3 times?
No.
No.
I'm gonna have that fifth soon. Anyways, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting the investment and banking policy that Shannon has come up with, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstaining? The ayes have it with still no phone call. Just, did I say it was 4415?
I think
Can we call this
Bob, probably down.
4415.
We could probably call Rick's. I bet Bob is down there.
I'll have Bobby down to Rex.
It's Monday, wing nights, and that's what he normally goes to Rick's with Art and
gosh.
that group.
4310, I'll just see if he's there. Has to be.
You know the number.
I mean, I could drop down there and see.
It's a breeze.
That's what you're trying to do.
I'll be back in about 3 hours.
4310?
This is
Yeah.
pretty bad.
Actually, that's gonna be they take orders.
That's all right.
We'd like to order Bobby Litchfield, please.
With wings.
Vegetarian pizza to go.
I just got back. I saw my favorite event.
Oh, shut up.
He just got back from Montana.
Yes.
Yeah, I know he's back because I saw
4310.
Yeah, got it.
Hello.
I don't believe this is happening.
It said Rick's Tavern and disappeared.
People will be bored watching this.
Hello.
They can sort of keep slides or something in there. Just put some slides in, yeah.
When you want things to work, that's when they don't.
So the only other thing we do is have a special meeting, you say, a 2-second meeting.
Yeah, can I borrow that calendar real quick?
Yes.
Still can vote on it and do it, then he says no tomorrow, we ready to do it again then.
You vote on having it there, again, if it's not, have a special meeting,
Right.
change it.
I have to have it posted by Friday.
Oh, we have plenty of time.
Well, why don't we just
No,
vote on the
I-
fire department tonight?
Yes,
If it doesn't
is
work
Bob
out, we'll
Litchfield
get
there?
together again.
Right,
between
if I
now
had
and
to
then.
have an emergency meeting.
Okay. Oh, it's the kitchen. Is Cindy around? Or you want me to call another number?
Do we have correspondence?
Yes.
Hooray.
I did have a question while we're just sort of killing time here. What happens,
Hey Cindy, it's Gary Delius. How are you? From Fieldstone Lodge. Is Bob Litchfield there? Okay. He was there. See if he's left yet.
Can you just stop by and bring some wings?
I could send out the road, grab him as he passes by.
The only thing we have for correspondence is the 2016 Fall Planning and Zoning Forum. If anybody wants to go, the VLCT News.
That was the 29th. I was gonna go to that, but, okay, thank you.
And a propaganda
Hey
thing
Bob,
from the
Gary
Lake City.
Delius. We need to ask you about using the fire hall. I'm gonna give you to Todd.
What was the date?
October,
29.
November,
29th,
Hey.
Saturday,
October 29th.
How
Saturday?
about October 29th is a Saturday, just for it's like a meeting before the bond vote, another informational meeting.
Public meeting.
Public hearing.
Public
Okay,
hearing.
can you call Shannon tomorrow morning with it?
Before bingo.
Yeah, we're gonna do it before bingo, it'll probably be like noon or something like that, noon till 1 or something like that. Yeah, something like that, it wouldn't take more than an hour, I don't think.
Or 2 o'clock.
October 29th,
Saturday.
it's a Saturday. Yep. Shannon's gotta know by tomorrow morning, so if you can check in the morning. So, yep. Thanks. Bye.
Bring some wings.
He'll call you in the morning. He doesn't think there's anything he doesn't know.
Boy, this wheeling and dealing.
So why don't we make a motion to the effect that we're gonna hold the information meeting of the revote, bond revote for the new building on October 29th at noon at the Newbrook Fire Station.
Noon or 1?
Noon.
Noon is 1.
Make it one.
Want to make it 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it 1.
You don't want to make it 1?
No, I'm not up at noon, so
Oh.
make it 1.
Anybody want to second that motion?
Second,
Wait, did you make the motion?
Well, shouldn't have, but so move it.
so move. Now
You can
somebody can
second
second it.
If you so feel the desire.
I second it.
Motion's been made and seconded to hold a bond revote for the new Newfane town office.
It's a public hearing.
Public hearing would be good. October 29th at 1 PM at the Newbrook Fire Station, pending Bob Litchfield's confirmation.
Second.
Yours did that.
Is there any discussion? I hope not, because I'm confused now, so.
Call the question.
All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstaining? The ayes have it. Now we need to approve the warning.
You do. Let me go fill in the warning. For you.
Like I said, there's really nothing
I
for
just want
correspondence.
to discuss, when someone violates a section of the personnel policy, how do we hear about it as a select board?
Either through the public,
Mm-hmm.
through Shannon as administrative assistant, or another town employee, or
The complaint.
Supervisor.
elected official,
A
supervisor.
supervisor,
Doesn't have to be a supervisor, it could be one of my guys that works at the Gross and like some time done. So it could be any town employee, any elected official.
comes and says, XYZ did not follow the personnel policy on page 10, and I wanted to report it. Okay?
So that,
They would probably come to
Reason.
Shannon or the,
yeah.
And there's the procedures to follow when that happens. I think it should be the personnel policy.
yeah.
I think they meet, the select board meets with the person first, and then they can have a hearing, and they can choose whether they want it public or not public for a hearing.
And it's pretty well,
And it's not just an employee, it's anyone who works for the town or gets paid by the town. That's what we went over in the beginning. So in other words, it could be an elected official.
yes, it's a,
Okay.
There's a
Like a
process
select
which
board member.
begins,
yes.
process
Well,
which begins on
Yeah, don't rule them out.
page 7.
Could be any town official.
Yeah.
The-
Defense viewer.
Where full.
Sketchy.
The warning is as follows. The legal voters of the town of Newfane, Vermont are hereby notified and warned to meet at the Newbrook Fire Department in the town of Newfane on Tuesday, November 8th, 2016, between the hours of 9 o'clock in the forenoon a.m., at which time the polls will be open in 7 o'clock in the afternoon p.m., at which time the polls will close to vote by Australian ballot upon the following articles of business. Article 1, shall the general obligation bonds or notes of the town of Newfane in an amount not to exceed $950,000, subject to reduction from the available grants in aid and reserves and the reallocation of unexpended bond proceeds, be issued to finance the cost of municipal office building construction at an estimated cost of $975,000. Legal voters of the town of Newfane are further notified that voter qualification, registration, and absentee voting relative to said special meeting shall be as provided in the chapters 43, 51, and 55 of Title 17, Vermont statutes, whatever that,
Annotation.
yeah. The legal voters of the town of Newfane are further notified that an informational meeting will be held on Saturday, October 29th, 2016 at the Newbrook Fire Department in the town of Newfane at 1 o'clock in the evening for the purpose of explaining the proposed improvements for the financing thereof. Adopted and approved at a regular meeting of the Select Board of the town of Newfane, duly called, noticed, and held October 3rd, 2016, received for record and recorded in the records of the town of Newfane on October 4th, 2016.
Did you say 1 o'clock in the evening?
That's what it says here.
1 PM.
Oh,
It's PM.
Yeah.
Is it
1
1?
o'clock.
It
in-
says-
No, it says 1 o'clock in the evening.
1 o'clock in
How about afternoon?
the
Do you like when
afternoon.
it says afternoon?
I don't care. Evening's fine with me, and I don't know, didn't know there was a 1 o'clock in the
It'd be
evening.
awfully hard.
There might be.
We'd certainly have another full house
Yeah,
on that one.
well, it's close enough to December, it will look like the evening.
So other than the 1 o'clock in the afternoon that Shannon's gonna fix, is there any reason not to adopt this? So we wanna make a motion?
The only question was, I guess we have to keep the same amount?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
right.
you do.
Yeah, and it was 950,000.
It's 975.
It was not,
But the bond's for 950.
Yeah.
but the bond.
The bond's for 950.
Right,
Yeah, you're warned.
right. I don't know.
Now, that brings up a question, because we have the 35,000 already approved.
Yep.
So
So we
does-
already know it's gonna be reduced, but you can't change the language of the part of it.
That's what you have a hearing
Yeah,
to explain that.
okay.
So Shannon has fixed it to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Does anybody want to make a motion to?
Second.
Was there a motion?
So moved.
Motion's been made and seconded to adopt the warning as presented for Article 1. Is there any other questions, additions, comments, discussion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstaining? The ayes have it. We need to sign it.
Will there be a pie supper?
I heard Fieldstone Lodge is doing something really nice that night.
You did? It's a rumor. It's merely a rumor. Maybe we could get some
Actually,
cookies or
the
something.
fire department could fire up the things, but
Yeah.
there and start making a little extra money that day.
Yeah, there you go.
One of the things
Lots of
that we
words.
never learned
Yeah.
about, and
Either one of us.
we decided, we said that we were going to
Yeah.
discuss, was the outcome of you and Mary Ann.
Yes. Do we want to wait until Mary Ann is here? So that the two of us who had that discussion, so both of our interpretations are considered?
Probably
That
be
makes
better.
sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Okay.
it is, you know,
Is everybody okay with us signing the option to the lease agreement for the Green Lantern for the landfill?
We
No, that's
approved it at
just
the
a-
last
It's
meeting.
just the option.
We voted on it last
Well, we
meeting.
didn't sign it at the last meeting, but
Okay.
he put in your paragraph for you.
you want me to read it?
We're not obligated to nothing, right? It's just
Nope,
a,
absolutely.
it's
need
in
to
the right
read
to
it?
look it over.
For
I
the
mean,
crowd?
You did
Well, we
at the
did last meeting, so all we're doing is signing it.
Actually, Todd, you're the only one that signed it.
Todd, you're the only one that signs it?
As long as the board's good with it, I'm good with it. We voted on it last meeting.
Yeah, we
so-
did.
But I don't think we read it in front of the camera, did we? We
Yeah.
did? Okay.
Just remind us that if we do not hang as one, we shall almost certainly hang together.
Okay. It doesn't sound very exciting to me.
It was a revolutionary statement.
Is there anything else to come before this
Did you read it?
select board meeting? Hearing none, it's time for payworks.
So we went through all the correspondence?
Yes, it's all right here. It's some literature
Thank you
on
very much.
There was,
traffic signs or signals,
oh, yeah. There
and then
was
the
a,
VLCT news, and then this thing for is it zoning? Zoning forum.
yeah, which I was able to go to. There was an email from Maureen about something for the agenda.
Yes, there was.
Texas? Was it Texas?
No, it was regarding complaints.
Regarding complaints. Did I not
Did
get
you
it?
get
I don't know.
I got an email from Maureen that was mostly
Complaints.
not complaints from Yes, from citizens, but targeting or going to her about all of what has been going on, and how she felt it was not proper to have her, in her role as treasurer, be fielding questions from citizens about the perception of a conflict of interest in the town clerk's office. So that was the complaint that I got.
Yep,
Is that what you got?
yep.
Okay. I don't remember her asking it to be on the agenda.
Did you read your email?
It wasn't supposed to be on the agenda for anything that I know. It's just a general statement. The way I took it, I mean, if Gary can find it, fine. The way I remembered it was just a general statement saying that basically she didn't really want to get involved in all this.
Then all she has to say is no,
Right.
doesn't want to be involved, that's all. That's how you respond to those kinds of things. It's like,
I would appreciate it if you post this letter on the town of Newfane website. I'm having a problem with accusations going around in this town. So she sent a PDF
She
file.
put it on a website, which it really isn't appropriate to be on the website.
No, but as long as we acknowledge it for the record here that we did receive it and,
You could read the letter.
yeah. You
I
want to
don't
read the
know,
letter?
but-
If I can get it to come up.
It's not like we're trying to hide anything.
No,
No.
I just don't think it belongs on the website.
While he's looking that up, just so everybody knows, Newburgh Fire Department's gonna be using this building the 8th and 9th as long as the weather's good for the
right,
coin drop.
the weather's gonna be good.
I hope. That doesn't sound it, but I hope so.
Oh, Matthew's he's got other plans.
Now, there's another one coming across the Great Lakes now, they're
Oh,
saying.
really?
I'm keeping my fingers crossed that doesn't happen.
That's this weekend.
We better not
Yeah.
get a hurricane across the Great Lakes.
That's like $8,000. It's like an $8,000 loss for the fire department if it rains both days.
Yeah.
So
Where rain go?
you can't have it legally on
Oh.
the road if it rains.
Oh.
Not legally have a coin drop on the road
If
if
we had
it's
another
raining.
Irene come through, I'll give you the grand.
Hey, you heard that.
What did he say?
Said if another Irene comes along, he's gonna donate $8,000 to the fire department.
That's right.
It's
Sounds
on
good
the
to me.
record. For the record.
Does it have to be named Irene too?
No, it's
Yeah,
Matthew.
We can call it Todd.
That 8,000 is going to my pocket then, so.
Okay, from Maureen, this is regarding the stamps.
Stamp.
I
Yes.
got that one.
Oh,
Yeah, this is to inform you all that there was not an extra reimbursement to the town clerk for a large amount of money for postage stamps. I went back on her timesheets for August 1st, the total amount I came up with for postage reimbursement for September and August is $47.54. This amount is not unusual due to the many types of office postage charges. We save the receipts and get reimbursement for it on our payroll check. The town office does not have a stamp machine. I ordered prepaid stamps and envelopes from the town's return address already on them. The mailing in question was not mailed in our prepaid envelopes. And we did receive the bank notification at our last
Yep.
meeting for $329, which is what the stamps were. So it does appear that she paid for those out of her own
So we
pocket.
just want to
She
validate
did give me the
that.
receipt today, she found it, so.
Okay, good.
Want to share that with the public.
I also have a
Understood.
receipt for the $70 for copies as well.
Yes, yes, she said that she'd sent that over to you.
So we did receive a receipt for the
Yes.
copy machine use.
Yep. The only thing that we have not received a receipt on, because she said it was part of, she buys these at tag sales and things like that, are the labels. So those come out of her own private stock of labels, not from her office.
Which she's actually donated some to us before too,
Yep.
so. Okay.
So that accounts for all the expenditures that we were concerned about, that the public raised a concern about. So,
All right, we are down to correspondence.
No, you finished correspondence.
We did it, pay orders.
We did it already, it's pay orders.
We're down to pay orders.
Yay.
I have one thing.
Oh, wait a minute, one
Sorry.
more.
Just one little thing.
Okay.
I think the law about road signs street signs, they're supposed to be larger, or the letters are supposed to be larger, especially on like Route 30. And I'd like to, in particular Grimes Hill Road, it's very difficult to see that sign, whether you're coming up or coming down on Route 30. It's small letters, and I think the law requires that they be larger.
I don't think the law requires it yet. It's,
Yes, it does.
I don't believe it's a certain date, and I don't believe it's come by yet, but we can put a sign up
It's
there.
coming. But you know, I've almost been rear-ended there. I don't know how many times, even though I've got my directional on, they have no clue that you're turning out of Grimes Hill Road. It's weird, crazy.
Of course, we could put a Grimes Hill sign up on the other side of the road with an arrow, so
Yeah, it's just people
You see
don't
It's
it
get
just
it.
small, and it's hard to see.
I can
And
order,
there was no run out for it either.
I can order them for it.
Do we make our own signs? Or do?
No, we order them.
Okay.
Another thing, while we're just talking, is,
Is the
are you
adjournment of this
looking
meeting.
at the- all right, basically, it has to do with how the state has listed speed limits on some of our town roads at 99 miles an hour. And, yeah, Newfane Hill, the speed limit, according to the state, is 99 miles per hour, and there are several other roads as well. That, I think that needs to somehow be fixed.
Well, it's in our road,
Yeah, that's just in our
Infrastructure.
crash data database, and it's most likely because they don't know what it is,
Right.
so it's a
So-
default number.
there's actually a road
But
by
that's-
the speed limit
Right,
pole thing that was drawn up back when Pete Van Loon was on the board.
yeah.
Wyndham Regional did the whole thing, speed study, Larry Robinson, Greg Record.
So we just need to get that and then call this agency of transportation and say, could you please
Update your database.
update your database? So if there was a lawsuit or something happening in a court situation, it would provide accurate information.
But the town has the accurate information in there.
Right,
do?
they're not gonna use that database for
Yeah.
anything other than
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all written
people
down.
pulling accidents.
You can look
Okay.
at it, you can
All right.
pull the file. They did quite a study
Yes.
back 15 years, 10, 15 years ago.
Mhm.
State
Wyndham
up.
Regional came in, put traffic monitoring devices up and down, did through the whole traffic safety thing, and so then they went on, redid all the speed limits in town.
Because it used to be all, they didn't have any speed limit
Right,
signs.
it
It
was
just had-
35 unless otherwise posted, it was,
That's right, that's what it was, 35 unless otherwise posted.
yeah.
I think 99 miles per hour is a good number.
Pretty reasonable.
That's actually probably accurate to the traffic I see go by, but,
Well, yeah, the state has this database, they have to use something for all the things that they don't know, so they put in 99 miles per hour. It's probably a little more sensitive if they say, check local ordinance,
Yeah.
rather than saying it's 99 miles per
We
hour.
have a traffic ordinance on file, if anybody wants to read it.
You got that stock?
So,
Thank
we're
you
down to
very-
pay
thank you
orders,
very
thank you very
much.
much for coming.